Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Bit of news for you. Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos is off. And the reason for this is that Davis came in 4.3 pounds overweight. And De Los Santos's team have decided, look, this is clearly an unfair advantage and it's putting our fighter at risk, in danger. Now, a lot of people will say, well, De Los Santos has kind of ducked Davis because he could have picked up a belt if he'd beaten him. He could have picked up a big old payday. Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with that. I don't think this is a duck. I think this is a case of safety first. And as far as the money is concerned, Bob Arum's Top Rank, which is Davis's promoter, are still going to pay De Los Santos his entire purse, which is believed to be around $400,000, which I think is a very it's the right thing to do. It's a noble gesture by Top Rank. But I don't see this as a duck. I don't see this as a swerve at all. I think I'm sick to death of people expecting fighters to fight on against someone who has clearly an unfair advantage, whether it's someone who's failed a PED test, whether it's someone who's come in several pounds overweight. Why should one fighter have an unfair advantage when another guy has behaved very professionally in making the weight? So I'm all for this decision. I wanted to see the fight, don't get me wrong, but I think this is really disappointing from Keyshawn Davis. Because if you go back to earlier this year, February, when he won his title against Denis Barancek, he looked fantastic. He looked really, really good, probably better than he's ever looked. And that was his 13th win, his ninth KO, no draws, no defeats. He finally got himself a belt. Denis Barancek was, a decent champion, and Davis smashed through him in 4 rounds. So he could have built on that. You know what I mean? And De Los Santos was a valid opponent, I'd say, potentially dangerous. But when he's made the weight and the opponent hasn't, it just smacks of real unprofessionalism. I mean, I can understand missing it, maybe by 6 ounces or something like that, because sometimes people make a miscalculation, but 4.3 pounds? No. Yeah, I mean, if you think back to Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, Garcia came in over 3 pounds overweight. We know what happened there. I mean, it was all the fun of the fair, wasn't it? One guy completely dominated the other, and yeah, he failed a PED test too. It was real belt and braces stuff from Ryan Garcia in that fight. I'm going to come in overweight and I'll take some drugs. And again, I was on the side of Devin Haney. I wouldn't say I was a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Devin Haney's style of boxing. He's technically skillful, but that's kind of irrelevant. It's he went to sue Ryan, didn't he? Which was ever going to work, but no, come in. Why the fuck should one fighter have that unfair advantage? I'm sick of this. Davis has said publicly, well, I've just outgrown the division. Well, not by 4.3 pounds, you haven't, mate. I mean, come on. I know you're lightweight, which is a relatively small weight. So, putting on a couple of pounds is bigger than if you're a heavyweight. It means more. But you're failing by, not by 4 ounces, you're failing by 4 pounds. So, no, I don't buy this idea that outgrowing the weight is the reason for this cancellation. But yeah, once again, big up Top Rank for still paying De Los Santos. I think that's a very good thing. That's a very decent thing. And as far as the card is concerned, Abdullah Mason has been promoted to the headliner. He's another lightweight, he's a contender, very, very good contender, a very good prospect, I would say. And he's taking on Jeremiah Nakatalia, I think it's pronounced, who is 26 wins and 4 defeats, but he's got 2 knockout defeats back-to-back in 2 rounds on his record. He did go the distance with Shakur Stevenson, I think it was, for a vacant WBO belt. But Nakatila, yeah, no, I mean, I see Abdullah Mason knocking him out, frankly. But it's interesting that suddenly Mason is a headliner. I mean, that's a good bit of experience for him because he's a very young fighter. And I would still say, even though he's kind of getting into contender status, I would say he was really just a very, very good prospect. But I think it's a good matchup. You know, Nakatila has faced good men and has, even though he's got 2 knockout defeats on his record, for a kid with for Abdullah Mason, for a young kid, it's a good opponent. Mason, by the way, fights very regularly. He's currently 18 wins, no draws, no defeats, and 16 KOs. So that's he's being brought on really excellently, I think. And this is a nice little fight. And by the way, Kelvin Davis, Keyshawn Davis's brother Kelvin, he is 15-0 with 8 KOs. He is fighting a 16-2 guy on the undercard as well. I hope he's made weight. I think Kelvin Davis is Keyshawn's older brother, but less, probably less well known. But anyway, the card will go ahead, which is good because the fighters get paid. But, all their work isn't going to be thrown away. So well done, Top Rank, for carrying on. But disappointed with Keyshawn Davis. Very disappointed. It's a shame, but he's got talent, Anyway, what do you think about this? Let me know. Stick your opinions in the comments. And, thank you very much for watching the video. If you did like it, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new, because it takes a second, costs you nothing, and you're helping us out. Thanks very much. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.